All right, y'all. So once again, I'm weary, and I'm I'm really just tired of everything. I mean, like my mom used to say, sick. I'm tired. I'm sick and tired of everything. So doing what I shouldn't be doing, because as you know, me doing one thing is a conscious thing, not to do another. But I think what I'm doing with all of this that I'm looking at and reviewing, do I really want to be in this type of world? I don't think so. I'm so sick of all the. It's just awful. I haven't previously. I didn't watch Keith Lloyd's interrogation video because I already know they effed him up, and I couldn't stand to be traumatized to watch it again. But as it stands, I did watch it. The worst part was the eye thing, and I'm sickened by the whole system. So I'm so tired of everything. And they didn't get charged with brutal force or whatever. They didn't get charged with that for doing that. And they kept that man in that interrogation room and never got him help until after they saw that he really wasn't going to say anything. His strength is amazing. But anyhow, that doesn't take away, from what he did. But he still shouldn't have been. That was inhumane the way he was treated. Um, but anyhow, looking at Newsbreak, which I shouldn't be doing, but doing it because I was waiting for my batteries to charge. This caught my eye. Anything that deals with homeless catches my eye. It says Florida's most dangerous ex-feared. I don't know what ex means. Ex-feared homeless camp. Man buried in shallow grave. We go inside the jungle. Right. And then the comments is what disturbed me the most. Um, This person says homeless does not excuse keeping clean and keeping area where you stay clean. Such a shame that so many homeless do not care. I don't know what to say about that because it does look pretty bad. My place looks pretty bad too. But this person says they're nuts. Why do you think they're homeless? Cleaning up after themselves isn't really on the radar. Well, a couple of different things on that. For one, they're nuts. No, they're not. And if they are nuts, which some of us may be, and eventually it's like what came first, the chicken or the egg? The homelessness, what came first? The root cause of the homelessness or the mental situation or the mental situation. I say this because, my health is failing now, I feel, and I'm working on it. It's not really failing. I think it's just the determine the realization that hey, this world is really fucked up and I don't like George Collins said, stop the world, I want to get off. So what I have to say about this is that most people, when they come across being homeless the first time, there's no mental health issues or anything unless they've been abused prior to that. If you get to a point where you're institutionalized in prison in a homeless shelter, those things can, impact your mental health because after a while, you train yourself to look at yourself as less as a person or present yourself as less than a person so that those people that are dealing with you in the capacity of being a homeless person feels more comfortable. And then after a while, people see that you treat yourself like that and then they begin to treat you like that too, you know? So that's what it is. This person says, and cleaning up, if they're truly homeless, there may be situations where that's not on the radar because they have other things that are going on. Judy says, so you're saying that the woman with the master's degree is nuts? Do you even consider that she may just have fallen on hard times? Many of them have no choice. I was court ordered, but it really impacted my life. It really fucked my life up. Not just a homeless thing, but all of the homelessness is not such a bad thing, but all of the things that go along with the people's perceptions, and then you trying to bow down. And the better person you are, the worse it's gonna be because you trying to bow down to their perceptions, and then you developing habits or appearances based on that, and you still don't get and getting any love for it. Break it down. 35 to 45% have mental health problems. No, they lie. You go in there and they will try to get you to admit things or say things or whatever so that they can get more funding. I remember being, homeless court order, but they kept pushing me, do you use drugs? And I was like, no, I don't use any drugs. I never use drugs. Don't lie. You use drugs. You don't have to lie. You can tell me. I don't, but they push you already time where you're tired, you're whatever, and they'll keep pushing you and pushing you. If they take you in intake and they say, have you ever had a drink? Yes, I've had a drink before. They'll put you down as an alcoholic because they get more funding for that. And not only just an alcoholic, chronic. So it's skewed. And it says 35% are strung out. And not really strung out, because if I look at myself, I look like I'm strung out, but I'm not. You're just broken down and tired from people like that make those types of comments. And then not only do they make those types of comments, they act on those types of comments. They share those types of comments with other people so that people will have that shared view, and that's not okay. You know, about 10% are just worthless. After you've been beaten down and broken down and tired, yeah, you realize that this world is not the place, not the place for you. And 15 to 20% took a wrong turn in life and will do the work to get back. And will do the work to get back. Are you actually saying something positive in regards to this? This number would be higher if mental health were dealt with. Those places cause mental health issues. I had instances where I was beaten, bullied, whatever, and they don't take reports because those people get paid like $9 an hour, and they would have to write a report if you if something like that happens and they're not trying to do it. My thing, if I had to say something to this Rebecca person, would be, if you find yourself, looking down on something, and I know this from personal experience because I may have had some preconceptions about things too, until I found myself in the legal system and with these results. You never know. If just be glad, whatever it is that you don't like about somebody or someone else's situation, just be glad that whatever variables that came up in their life, did not happen to you, because we're all human and we're all basically the same, and we all would react the same under similar stressors. Charlie Steen Stevens says Danny Rawlings resided in a homeless camp in Gainesville for a time. I don't know who Danny Rawlings is. I have to look him up, and I'm not that motivated to do so right now. If somebody happens across this and looks it up, please share. There is a lot of alcoholism and drug addiction and mental health issues in homeless camps. Yeah, but you have to ask what comes first. For me, I got caught up in this whole thing not in a good way. A false accusation, went to court and everything for it, and what's even more appalling, I never got a chance to tell my story, and I would love to, but I'm caught up in this employment thing, and I will never, never. It seems like I'll never get a chance to tell my story and vindicate all of that. But those are very dangerous places. They can be some homeless people. They can be, because I got a chance to see it from the other side. I walk. I'm a pedestrian, and I had a situation where I didn't know there was a homeless camp here in Valdosta. There was a little cut, and next thing I know, this guy came up on me in a bicycle, seemingly out of nowhere. He came out of the woods. I didn't know it. And he was telling me that whoever comes past his yard has to speak to him, and whatever. And I was like, where do you live at, in the alley? Because the apartments are back there, and if you live in apartments, why are you hanging out in the street accosting people? Ah! Okay, so for those of you that don't know, I have a rat issue. So I heard something and it scared me. So I scream when I hear bugs or rats, just like any normal female would do. But yeah, and more so me, because it's me by myself, so that is extra scary for me. Anyhow, there are some people who appear very nice for a time, but who don't always act very nice. It depends on how you talk to folks. I remember some people don't think that homeless people have a right to speak up for themselves, or if they have an impression about you, how dare you speak up? And you shouldn't be that way. Just because someone's homeless doesn't mean that you can talk to them any type of way, or that they don't have a right to inquire or question something. Kimberly Mayo Dansby says, all the negative comments, yet the fact remains, who's going to help solve the problem for the ones that can't help themselves? Obviously, there's a cycle here. The cycle is the legal system. The legal system, institutionalism, all types of institutions. Legal system, workplaces that are built into the DOD. There's until we learn to love each other. Love each other. If you can't love people, leave them alone. That's all I have to say. If you don't have anything nice to say, like they said back in the day, don't say anything at all. But there are some people that actually enjoy being mean. So, who am I to tell them what to do? Enjoy yourself. Enjoy life. Do what you do. It all works out in the end. Brenda says, I wonder if homeless would clean up more of if they were donated garbage bags. No, they wouldn't. If people are not there, not for a reason, you don't know the situation. They may be where, because of the camp, they're trying to hide, so they can't be seen. But no, it wouldn't help if you donated garbage bags because they get food stamps. So if you get food stamps, you get those little plastic bags for free all the time. There's probably no garbage pickup where they are. So, but yeah, I see what you're saying about taking the garbage maybe to a garbage can or something. Um, but the situation is different. It's just like when you see houses that are broken down into projects, and you might see like the garbage is always overflowing and stinking. It's because they're privately owned, and then the people that privately own them are slumlords and don't pay to take the garbage out. Because they are homeless camps, they don't have specific garbage pickup times. Oh my God, there's a rat in here. So that's that. But let me finish that thought if I can. So if they're in homeless camps, there are no specific garbage pickup times. And homeless, when people are living somewhere, you generate a lot of garbage. I hope this rat don't come over here. A lot of garbage, and so it's one thing to try to maintain being stealthy, and then it's another thing to, you know, I don't know the situation because I wouldn't, for me, I'm better at keeping things for other people. If something's negatively impacting, it's just going to negatively impact me. But yeah. But anyways, just to sum it all up, the rat seems like it's closer. But oh my God, that bitch sounds like it's wet right over here. And this does not support support the cause that I'm putting out. But this is true though. What you're seeing is truth, okay? So if you see somebody screaming, they're not crazy. It's a rat. It might be a reason. So you find out what the root cause is. There's a rat somewhere. I hear it, but I can't see it. Okay. And how do I know? Because when I first came, one of the neighbors, I didn't know what was going on, and they had to put me on to what it was, and that's exactly what it was, and that's what it is. But it sounds closer, which is scary to me. But anyhow, the bottom line is this, and every time I try to make my point, it starts up again. The bottom line is this, that those types of situations, those institutions, jails, prisons, if you are not a person with a strong support system, and in this day and age, unless you have family, and even then you might not even really have it, you could, I'm hearing the rat, but you could be impacted, by mental health issues, and it may not happen immediately, over time, you may lose your family, you may lose, you know, your self-esteem because you've trained yourself to berate yourself so that other people are more comfortable dealing with you, thinking that you were so strong that when it all comes over that you can get you back the way you used to be. But no, that's not the case. What happens is that once you've trained yourself to be this way over a period of years, and if anybody's been in the legal system and you hear the court cases, they say, oh yeah, 3 years they worked on this case. It's all 3 years is like the magic number. There's a system involved here. 3 years. So they'll keep holding things, staying things, whatever, 3 years, right? 3 years is a case. Or the jury came back in less than an hour or in 3 hours. There's a whole it's a whole system, psychological, it's a whole system behind it. Okay? It's not by chance that it's always 3 years before, the case is determined, or on certain types of cases. It's not always a coincidence that the jury deliberated for an hour and they came back undisputable. Everybody said the same thing. Well, you know why? Because half the jurors don't care, and if somebody's pressured, they're going to go with everybody else because they got to go back to work, go back to their family and their friends. And some of them don't really want to be there, So let's be real about it. If we can't be good to people, we can't be nice to people. Don't be mean, because we create the world that we live in, and our words, the way we interact with people, the words that we say about people, it can cause a lot of harm. And so when you're seeing malaise or you're seeing people feeling bad, when you're talking about people like that, when you're saying negative things about people like that, that's affecting mental health too, because that's another stressor. How people perceive you and how people are allowed to treat you based on what they perceive you to be or what your socioeconomic class is. So it's got to stop. I wish that I could get into this deeper, and I wish I was more clear and concise about it. But there is a rat in here, and it is making noise, and it's distracting me. And like I said, I know that doesn't look good for what I'm what I'm talking about. But I mean, it's the truth. And hopefully, if you have an ear, you can hear beneath all that the bottom line is that you have to be the change you want to see. If you are mean and nasty to people and judgmental to people, you're going to create a world, with people that are mean and nasty and judgmental too, because people follow the leader, and of people that are just misunderstood, or that, are living up or down to your expectations of them. So I'm asking us as a community to do better. I probably should have just signed into the app, but I didn't feel like doing all that typing on the phone. So it's here. And if I get a chance to sign in, I'll go back in and copy and paste the link or something. I love you. Bye.